Hello, my friends. This is the podcast that brings the wealth of knowledge, expertise, and fun of Twin Smoke Shop, New England's premier smoke shop, right to you, wherever you are, whenever you want it. And that's not just blowing smoke. You can find us at our website, notjustblowingsmoke.com, and be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Not Just Blowing Smoke.
Cool breeze in my head, bittersweet smoke flying through the air. It's the way I feel, smoking on a fat cigar.
Fat Cigar you were listening to, and that means it's time for Not Just Blowing Smoke. Coming at you live from Twin Smoke Shop studio headquarters right here on the deck of the 724 Lounge. Glad you're with us tonight. If you are listening to us live on Facebook or on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss anything in the future. If you are listening after the fact on Podbean, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Spotify, iTunes, Google, Amazon, wherever else you might get your podcast from, make sure you hit that subscribe button down there so that you don't ever miss a thing. I'm Pastor Padron. I'm here with my co-hosts, Pat and Dave. Nick is off tonight. And we have a number of guests with us. We have Bree from the 724 Lounge.
Good Bree.
We have Mike LaRiviere from Rocky Patel. And we have saved the best for last. We have Kurt Kendall with us tonight.
Hey now.
The owner of Twin Smoke Shop and 724 Cigars. It is always epic when we have Kurt on the show. And it's awesome to be out here tonight. It's a little bit chilly, but I dressed for it.
If you're watching anywhere in America, you're probably warmer than we are.
Yeah.
Welcome.
And we're smoking something real special tonight. This is a sneak peek at the next cigar that was made for Twin's 25th anniversary. And it's made by Rocky Patel.
Oh, look at that.
It is going to be available in about a month if everything goes according to plan.
Let's not get crazy here. Damn, right? It's going to be ready soon.
It's
coming out next week.
Well, the good news is we're smoking it, which means the cigars are ready.
The cigars are done.
Little packaging going on.
The cigars are done, but, so a month.
Yeah, right around.
We're going to be positive.
It's going to be soon.
Around the 2nd, 3rd of June, hopefully.
Yeah, we're having a little thing going on.
We're having a little thing going on there.
You might be able to be the first to buy it that night.
You might be.
The bands look
you
like
might
they were
be
made
the first
with
to buy it on the 2nd or 3rd of June, but we're the first to smoke it right here on 724. And what does anyone know what this cigar actually is? Do you know what this is, Kurt?
It's brown.
Can you tell us about it?
It's tobacco.
It's tobacco.
It's dark leaf tobacco.
It's dark
Well,
leaf
we don't
tobacco.
want to. Are we going to reveal the actual blend right now, or? I mean, we can.
Are you
I don't want to ruin Pat's party.
I don't know why. Why even talk about it? Let's smoke it. See what we think. We could maybe reveal.
I have the ingredients, people.
You have the ingredients.
We'll make sure we let you know.
All right, so
we'll
smoke it, and then at the end of the show, make sure I don't forget.
I'm anxious to tell people. I think it's a great blend.
All right, very good.
It's smoking good, Dan.
I communicated with Marisa the other day at the factory, and she told me that everything should be good to go for.
And Nimish said the same thing today.
Did he?
So yeah, he said, if anything, he'll have
basically
enough boxes for that day, and then the additional rest of the shipment will come. So we feel really good about it, but let's just make sure we're
everyone's
honest.
The same set of
things happen.
Points. That's what I'm hearing.
Every time it hits the water, you never know what's going to happen. So we hear it's on the water a lot. So sometimes it takes a left on the Erie Canal. Sometimes it gets there.
Are they getting new bands?
No, we went rustic with this one.
Yeah.
We went like really rustic. Yeah.
It looks like
regular print of paper and some black ink.
I was gonna. It's like
I think we should reveal that later.
Microsoft Paint 98.
Kurt would never allow this band to make it into the show.
I think that's a conversation we should have on the podcast.
Should just say, "Hey now."
The package. Kurt saw it for the first time at the factory, and it was awesome to be there and see your eyes when. Next thing you know, that box came out of nowhere, and hey, here's the box for you.
Yeah, that was special.
Anniversary
it really was.
That's cool. Pat, what are we pairing with the cigar tonight?
So this is our House Barrel Weller 107.
Oh, hey now.
Yeah.
Sorry.
They wouldn't go for the Pappy 25, but this is a very, very good bourbon.
It's a very, very good thing.
It's going to go well.
We've never had a Pappy 25 in our hands.
I'm working on it. I am working on it. Someday before I pass on, I think we're going to try to do that.
I hope you share it with me.
I hope so too.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So how did this project come about, Kurt? How do you get Rocky Patel to blend a cigar for you?
Well, it really comes down to relationships, and Rocky's a good friend. We've known each other over 20 years, and believe it or not, as we were communicating with manufacturers to make us a cigar for our 25th anniversary, before I even got a chance to ask Rocky, he had it planned. He had it in the queue to make it happen. So this particular cigar, we had no input on the blend, the packaging, anything. Rocky did this all on his own and surprised us with it.
It was a secret for a long time. Because I remember we were with you. We were all together, and the anniversary just came up that, hey, at the time it was next year's my 25th anniversary, and Rocky pulled me aside during that gathering and said, hey, I got an idea. We're going to do something top secret. Don't tell Kurt. I don't want him to know. And I had to sneakily get your logo. I had to, in a roundabout way, get copies of your logo that was in a good enough, GIF or whatever, resolution that we could use on boxes and bands and stuff.
And then we're hanging out with Rocky one day, and he just slips it out so.
Let it slip, Kurt. Oh, here comes your cigar. Lots of peppers.
Here's some peppers and a box of cigars.
No, it wasn't a surprise as it showed up, but it was certainly a pleasant surprise that he put the effort in and the thought to do that for us. So
he personally was hands-on with putting this together, the blend, and working with the team at the office on the packaging, which I think we're going to show it at some point tonight, but it blew my mind when I saw it. It's just so unique, so different than anything we've ever done, and I think it just speaks of an anniversary, twins anniversary, 25th,
really
and it has that little Rocky Patel touch to it too. So everybody's going to be excited when they see it, but the best part is when you're actually taking it out of the box and smoking it.
Yeah, look at the burn on this.
I know.
Yeah, the burn's
Beautiful.
fantastic.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's smoking good. It's smoking good.
And they've been
really good, Mike. It's smoking
I'll tell you, by the time this ships, this is going to have some good age on it too, because they've been ready for a while. It's just the packaging. We had a little bit of,
like
things
everything
happen.
else in the business, the cigars are all plentiful. It's the boxes, the
box
paper,
labels.
it's the ink.
Yeah.
It's
You
the
want to make the money,
bands
open
that
up
are
a
the
back
problem.
box factory.
Yeah,
somewhere.
serious. Oh my gosh, if you can't make your own boxes, you're sunk.
Well, speaking of that, so we just came back, Sean and I and Kurt and some others in a group went to the factory, and we haven't really had a chance to talk because I hit the ground running, went to Oklahoma, did a couple of events. You've been on the go. Sean's been catching up. So one of the amazing things for me on that trip, there was a ton, but I wasn't super excited about going to the box factory. Like, oh, yeah, whatever. We're going to go see a bunch of wood get cut in the boxes and everything. You actually see what they're doing. It's completely by hand. There's one guy that literally sits in a Sawzall all day long and just cuts pieces of the little inserts that go in the square pattern that hold the cigars in it. All day long he's doing that. But for me, the thing that just really took it to another level for me was they were doing our number 6 boxes while we were there. Mm-hmm. And for those of you that are familiar with our number 6 box, really I like the packaging on it. Black. I'm a black, gray guy, has a big number 6. But on each corner, it's like indentated. What do you call that? It's kind of different. It's
like routed out.
Yeah, it's like, and there was a guy there at the factory. So we knew those boxes were being manufactured. We saw him coming out at the end when we were walking in. And there was a guy, literally, that's all he did was took the square boxes and he had a small little, looked like a pipe cleaner type file. Yeah. And he just sat there filing all 4 corners of the box. He was like literally doing that by hand. I never realized that it was that.
A lot of
that
work.
Completely hands-on, labor-intensive with the boxes.
How many people are working in the box factory?
Oh,
alone?
God.
It's not like a little 2 or 3 person thing.
No.
I don't know the number. There's got to be hundreds. There has to be hundreds of people.
In the box factory.
Yeah.
Just in the box factory.
And they're like, rustic in a way where they're coming off the line, and there's one guy that just takes them and he has a special machine that makes it so we can spray paint them a certain way, and it gets everything, and then they lay them out like under a bush, under a flower plant or something, so the sun's not right on to dry. But I love that about this industry anyway. I mean, this industry's all hands-on, and we've seen every aspect
and it was
of it.
at Nestor Placencia's house.
Yeah. His house,
The box factory's at his house.
he's probably getting his morning paper and stepping over boxes that are drying. You know? It was great. It was just a great experience, and something as simple as boxes being made.
There's no getting in there, though. It's heavily guarded. Even they even turned us away when we first got
did?
there. We had to go around the block a couple times to come back.
Wait for the guard to change.
It was a it was a 2 tequila on the rocks ride. I remember it. Going around and came around and came back.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, that was great.
So what factory were you at down there?
So we went to our
Tobacos
factory.
de Oriento.
Yep.
Tobacos de Oriente.
Siriente.
Syria
the,
in Denali.
Yeah. And,
Donley.
Danley.
Danley. Sorry.
Denali's the truck I drive.
Yeah. We're going to get
we were
blunders
in
on this.
Danley.
Stanley,
And,
Honduras. That's how you
It's
pronounce
the
it. Okay, good.
so I don't think it's any big secret. It's the Placencia family owns the factory, and then but Rocky's had his own section of the factory with his own people,
Own
his
workers, own
everything,
plants, all that stuff. Yeah.
all his tobacco, everything on one section of that factory, and so he has complete control over everything that's being made there.
Marissa runs the show there.
And Marissa runs the show. And
Tell us about who Marissa is.
well, I don't want to speak out of what I know about her, but what I do know is 20 years ago, when I first went to that factory for the first time, she appeared to be like Rocky's assistant down there, or she was
Like
making
right-hand
stuff
person.
happen. We
Like-
stayed at their house, and she made sure everything was all set up, ready to go, beds and food, and she organized the whole thing. Fast forward 20 years later, she's running the factory, running all the production, and she also brought us to she has her own tobacco farm where they were processing and picking her first crop ever.
That day, by chance, we drove in there,
Wow.
and the manager of the farm said, "We're starting the harvest today," and how lucky were we, right, Kurt and Sean?
Yeah.
She actually pulled us over, and we all lined up. We had 12 people on our group, and we all lined up, and each one of us got to go harvest 3 leaves. The first priming of the plant. So there were all the plants lined up down the row, and we all the first one, and you just got to go harvest it, which
Wow,
was
that's pretty-
really cool.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, they started that morning. We actually so they had brand new tobacco barn built, and they
Yep.
were building a second one, and we got to experience them hanging the first leaves ever from that farm, and it was a beautiful sight. The farm was really nice.
That's incredible.
So
And it was nice to watch her reaction to seeing it all for the
yeah.
first time.
That's got to be great, knowing her for that long and seeing that her go from being where she was to where she is, and
it was like watching a movie where, the La Dueña, the boss lady was there, and like on those Narcos series, and the lady's there, and she's got the glasses on and all that. It was pretty cool to watch that.
Oh,
with her, and I
when she's
was
there, no matter where
proud
we
of
went,
what she's become.
she does a great job. And like Kurt said, she's running the show over there, and it's nice to be able to make the phone call. Like, Rocky's always in touch, and Nish and Nimish, and everybody's in touch and figuring out. And she's a person that's back and forth with the blends, and it's an operations. It's crazy. It was my first time. I mean,
was that your
being
first
around
time
Rocky all
at
these
a
years,
farm or a
and-
factory?
and I had like 3 different tours that I was supposed to go on that got canceled with COVID and everything. And so it just got pushed back. And we were the very first group to go there on an official tour from here after COVID. And it's we have a new house, and it's all new. There's new people. There's a lot of moving parts that people don't even need to know about. It's just basic stuff. Just what do you do when you have 12 people plop in at your house, and you have to make sure that they have food, they have drinks, they have cigars, they get to where they're going, and all that. And quite honestly, Marissa's in charge of she's running the show over there with the factory and all that stuff. She's also the person that runs all of that. I mean, she took care of us unbelievably. If you come on a tour with us, you'll get to meet her, and she's unbelievable. And the people she has around her. I mean, literally at the end of the day, we go back to the house, and there's appetizers set up for us, there's drinks, there's cigars laid out, and they're in the kitchen cooking homemade stuff. I mean, one night we had homemade corn tortillas with like street tacos and
Crazy,
man.
refried. I mean, I could go on and we could have a podcast on food just on the stuff we ate there, and it was all homemade that her and her friends and family members made for us. Pretty cool.
You know where else we went to when we were there? Was Oscar Valderas has his own cigar bar in Dan Lee. So we got to go in there. He had some good spirits, great cigar selection.
Staff was great too.
Yeah, staff was good. It was
We spent a
an
good
oasis.
amount of time there, and
Yeah, we carried.
I think
Mike
we
out,
spent
but-
like 5.7 million of the currency in Honduras there,
And
which
it's
equals out to like
it's
150 bucks.
Yeah, I was gonna say like $200.
When I got the bill, I was like, and that's all right. It's an exchange rate going on here.
Yeah.
I was just going to stay there and work it off. But and interesting thing about him, I don't know, how much people know about his story, but he was our bus driver.
Yeah,
He was Rocky's bus driver for these tours way back in the day, and now he has,
that's how I met
Leaf
him.
by Oscar and some great cigars. I had for the first time the what was that cigar I had? Something fly.
Oh, yeah.
Superfly.
Not
Superfly.
Superfly. No, it was the other fly.
Yeah, I don't know, purple label. I got the
Yeah,
There's
purple
a
size.
Superfly. There's the Marty McFly.
No,
Superfly was first, I believe.
yeah, it wasn't
purple
either
box.
of those, but it was something fly.
Yeah.
McFly.
Yeah, it was the McFly.
There was the McFly.
Trademark like LaRiviere McFly. It's going to be a
But that's
cigar.
where I met Oscar 20 years ago. He was the bus
That's crazy,
driver
huh?
for trips like that.
I didn't know him back then.
And several trips to Honduras, and that's like Jesus Fuego. He was Rocky's master blender, and with all those tours that Rocky did, everybody got to know Jesus and everybody got to know Oscar, and it made them very popular people. Then they both go off and on their own companies, and they already had a built-in fan base because they had met so many people. So a lot of things have come out of Rocky Patel, and I'm sure they're all grateful for everything he's done for them.
Sure.
And hundreds of people, I'm sure, but
Well, even us as a company, I mean, we've been in that factory for a long time, but I want to say it's going on now 13 years, maybe a little more than that. We started our own factory in Esteli, Nicaragua, the Tavacusa factory, which now is just huge, and we're expanding on it now. And I mean, it's amazing the amount of tobacco we're getting out of there, and we have a huge storage facility there that we're aging tobacco. So it's like, when you think of the stories, and we'll get Rocky on here sometime to talk the story from his shoes, which is way different than what
That'd
we'd be able to say.
amazing. I'd love that.
I wish we got to go. It just right now, getting in and out of Nicaragua is like 3 or 4 hour excursion just to get through the border. There's just a lot of stuff going on and a lot of lines to get through. So it wasn't feasible to do it. But hopefully one of the next times we go, we'll be able to
That'd be good.
get over there. Oh, that's right. Yeah, while we were at Oscar's place, Nestor Placencia came in to say hi. He was outside.
Oh,
He was
my
with a little
gosh.
group, and he heard that we were inside, and he came in and shook hands. Everybody took a few pictures, wished us well.
yeah,
and-
he was meeting there.
You
with,
should have the amount of his cigars we sell.
He also makes 75% of all the cigars that we manufacture for 724.
We saw a lot of the old boxes when we were at the box
Yeah.
factory too. They had all the different boxes, and then Kurt looks over
They
at
weren't
the
in
shelf.
any production, but they were, there were signs, evidence. It was pretty cool.
That's awesome.
I think that'd be a good trip Bree would really enjoy, but unfortunately she's moving on.
You're trying to get me to stay, Kurt.
I was gonna
Yes.
offer you a trip the next round, but
Mm-hmm.
All right, one more year.
Well, now that it's been brought up, what's going on, Bree?
Yeah,
What's going on?
I've made the decision to experience Florida in
it's
the
hot.
beginning of June. I mean,
There have been better
don't
decisions.
get too excited because I might be back. I might. Who knows? I might hate it. But yes, I'm going somewhere warmer. Never lived outside of New England in my adult life, so I'm just trying to venture out just to say that I did, and see what happens. But this is my home base, so
It's too bad you weren't closer to Burn. You could go step right in and
I'll commute.
What area of Florida you're going to be in? You don't have to say exactly.
Don't be too specific.
Oh yeah, true. There's some weirdos out
There's
there.
definitely out there.
I'm going to be outside of Tampa. So
Outside of
it's got-
Tampa, yeah, that's a great area.
I wish I was a little closer to Naples. I'm not gonna lie.
It's not too
Pretty
bad.
close to Paul, apparently.
I mean, I go
Yeah.
down to the Bucks games and I drive down there to the office and to Burn. It's
Right,
a little
so
bit.
You're,
but
you're
it's
my
not that
tour
bad.
guide.
It's always good for me to know more people in Florida.
More incentive for Kurt and Sean to get down there. You know. So-
Threaten me with
And
it.
we're having a little send-off party for you.
May 23rd,
May 23rd.
Tuesday.
I thought that got canceled, didn't it?
Yeah, we canceled.
Did you cancel it? Well, that's too
It's
bad.
it's contract dependent.
It's contract dependent. Anything's possible between now and the 23rd.
Oh, yeah.
Come on.
Depending on if she shows up for the rest of her shifts.
Yeah.
2 weeks.
So what are you thinking so far, Pat? I know you were anxious to try to get a feel of the blend and maybe throw out there what you thought you were smoking. You get through it enough to get a little bit of an idea? Or?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough because Rocky literally has all tobacco, so it's like kind of tough. Like, there's brands, if you try guessing what it is, like you kind of know like generally what they're using. And a lot of Rocky's blends uses San Andreas, and I know it's not a San Andreas wrapper. There's like a really unique sweetness that I don't really get in many Rockies. I mean, well, a certain type of sweetness, and it's kind of like that. To me, it's like a candy coating anise kind of sweetness.
Candy coating anise.
Yeah, like it has like that anise kind of spice to it, but it has like a nice, sweet kind of. It's hard to explain, but it's like a sugary sweetness. Like it's not like a chocolatey sweetness or anything like that, but it's like kind of like a baker spice kind of sweetness.
Or like a Hamastron Valley.
Yeah, like so it's like
kind of sweetness.
It's weird because like the two tobaccos that come to my mind is gonna be like Cameroon or Sumatra, and it has like kind of a like if you look at the Decade Habano, it has kind of a similar shade to it, but it doesn't smoke like a Habano would.
No, it doesn't taste like that. at
So
all.
like the only two wrappers I could really think of, unless there's something in the fillers that's kind of playing into the sweetness, is going to be either Rocky's Sumatra or Cameroon, which it would be kind of weird if he did the Cameroon because he only does the one cigar of a Cameroon, the 1998, right?
The 2003 vintage.
2003, I meant, yep.
And we did a decade with a Cameroon for a while.
Yeah, so,
Hard to get.
but the actual leaf itself doesn't have like those kind of spots or kind of, it is kind of rustic, but it doesn't have like, I guess it could be a Cameroon, but the Sumatra is another
Make up your mind,
tobacco
Pat.
he
What is
uses.
it?
I think it's one of the two. I mean, I'm going to guess a Honduran binder, but filler-wise, Honduran, Nicaragua, I mean, it's pretty, you know, I wouldn't be, there was a little bit of a mustiness there, which when I smoked the edges, that Panama tobacco in there has kind of a musty musique to it, but.
I think what's playing with your mind on this cigar is the primings. Does that make sense? I mean, yeah.
Well, yeah.
I didn't take the class you did. I'm a street cred
is it
guy with smoking cigars. Yeah, but,
is it a lower priming?
well, I mean, the higher primings would have more sun, would get more fuller flavors, and the
More
lower
spice.
primings would maintain some more of that, you know, tobacco, maybe the sweetness.
Yeah, because lower
Yeah.
priming would be where the sweetness is coming from.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Typically, when they're blending, they're using some of all of those parts of the plant to give it a well-balanced.
Yeah. I mean, like, and we've known this, but obviously seen it at the factory and hearing it from the lips of Marissa and the people that are working on our farms and doing the harvesting. Like, for instance, say the Decade. So the Decade's a great cigar. Like you said, Sumatra wrapper. It's been a workhorse for us for a long time. 95 rated came out. Obviously, it's 10-year anniversary. You can't use even the same primings of that same tobacco every year because the crops are different, the weather's different, you know. So they literally reblend all these things every year and try to make sure they get it to that the flavor profile they're looking at. And so for me, that speaks to how primings can make a real difference, and even the crop, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I think because I know where you're getting at because I tasted it too. I tasted it when we smoked it in Honduras. It's just like, I don't know. It's just like a natural type sweetness. It doesn't. It
Yep,
doesn't
it's a
taste
natural
like
sweet.
an infused type sweetness. And
No.
I hate to say sweet when I'm talking about cigars because people automatically think like Java or one of like it's infused and it's got like flavor and stuff. And no, it's not. It's the actual natural sweetness, almost like a Cuban tobacco that has that really nice natural sweetness to it. And I get this in this cigar as well.
Well, Cameroon offers that too. If this happened to be Cameroon,
Right.
definitely has a natural sweetness.
That's why, I mean, if it's not a Sumatra or a Cameroon, it's shocking because that's the only cigars notable that I can mention is like Cameroon or Sumatra cigars that have that sweetness to it, So I mean, there's some broadleaf too, but this doesn't obviously appear to be a broadleaf. So if it's like a low priming Habano, they get some of that sweetness in there, then that's very unique. But I mean,
The thing too is that as the more you go down there and you listen and watch, there's so many tobaccos being grown down there that, like, they were growing broadleaf, Connecticut broadleaf in Honduras.
Yeah.
So you don't even, if you're not familiar with it, you don't know what it looks like or tastes
Right.
like. It's hard to tell exactly.
yeah, I know the double broadleaf Alec Bradley uses a Honduran broadleaf.
Yeah.
That's a good cigar too, by the way.
It just brought me back memories like when we pulled up to the farm and we were looking. I'm like, all right, this looks really weird. Like, what's going on over here? It looks like the military has this like camouflage cheesecloths up to hide all their tanks and anti-missile things and everything. And it's literally our shade-grown tobacco. And I mean, I got up on the top of the bus. I climbed up on the ladder, and took pictures. Like, as far as the eye could see, that's all it is like that cheesecloth. They have it like built up and it's all supported and everything. And you go in there, it's like being in this massive major convention center, and you can't even see past the rows of shade tobacco just growing in there. And right, I mean, we walked in there like it's crazy. We took some great pictures. It's too bad we couldn't.
I grew up
throw
in
pictures
Connecticut,
here,
so
but-
I'm very familiar with that. I'm used to it. I saw it my whole childhood, so especially for Mike, who hadn't been or seen that, it's pretty fascinating
Yeah,
to
it's
see,
pretty
especially
wild.
when it's that large of acreage.
It's funny though, Mike,
Yeah,
because
the
I would.
plants were literally pushing
Oh, yeah.
the cheesecloth
Yeah.
up, which is the cheesecloth,
Wow.
which I don't recall ever seeing that before.
Yeah, they were like
So
right
how
up
high is that? What's that got to be like?
8
10
feet,
They were like
maybe?
8+
Yeah,
feet.
maybe a little more than 8.
More,
I mean,
yeah.
I'm a little over 6, and I could reach
you
up and I couldn't touch the top
Couldn't
of
touch the top.
Wow. That's insane.
It's nuts.
Yeah, it was all flowering, and it's a pretty cool sight.
Yeah, it was pretty nuts.
If you handed me this cigar and didn't tell me anything about it, or that it was like a twin cigar and where it came from, like I would probably guess Dominican. Like it has like a very, because like my experience with Dominican tobacco is it's sweeter, but it has like that, like really prominent like baker's spice, and it kind of leaves like that leather in your nose when you retro, like a sweet kind of leather. And like I mean, I guess Rocky probably has Dominican tobacco, but I wouldn't guess that Rocky would use.
Well, we use it. It's in our vintage. We get some Jamaican tobacco in there. I get a really nice, just like earthiness to this too. At the same time as the sweetness, which is awesome. I love that.
Earthy, sweet, cedary,
Yeah.
a very mild kind of spice.
It's really going well with this antique. Like,
Oh, yeah, the antique makes the sweetness
pretty
pop.
much going to need a
oh.
bottle or two of antique delivered to my house every month so I can smoke these nonstop.
Yeah,
And- Another thing, like if you're a wine drinker, like a really
super wine.
earthy, like cow manure, super Tuscan. Right?
Yeah.
A cow manure super Tuscan.
Yeah, like really just like rich, earthy, super Tuscan Brunello. No?
Well, to make sure
just trying
this
to pretend I know what
conversation
the wine
doesn't
is.
go any further, I'm going to introduce our next segment here, and it is the 724 flashback.
Yes.
Dun, dun,
724
dun.
flashback, which is a new weekly segment highlighting historical events brought to you by 724 Cigars. Smoke a piece of history.
Absolutely.
And
unequal.
today is very special. This is going to be kind of exciting. Way back in 1885, there was this Confederate Colonel John Pemberton, who was wounded in the Civil War, and he ended up becoming addicted to morphine. And he also had a medical degree at the time, and he went on a quest to find some kind of substitute for morphine for himself. And in 1885, at his own drugstore and chemical house in Columbus, Georgia, he registered something called Pemberton's French Wine Cola Nerve Tonic. Ooh. Okay. And this tonic also included using the African cola nut, from which caffeine was gotten for it. And the next year, in 1886, when Atlanta and the Fulton County in Georgia passed prohibition legislation, he responded by developing Coca-Cola.
Wow.
A non-alcoholic version of his wine cola that he had made to get over his addiction. It was marketed as Coca-Cola, the intemperance drink. And on this day in 1886, Coca-Cola went on sale for the first time in the United States.
Wow.
Wow, that is pretty cool.
That's pretty
No
wild.
wonder why
Happy
he
birthday,
found
Coke.
something that was trying to take the place of his morphine, because original Coca-Cola had cocaine in it.
Yeah. No wonder why 2 billion people got addicted to Coca-Cola back in the day. That's true, right? That's a true story.
Yeah.
Like
Yep,
I had heard
there's-
that before. Like there was something in there that made people really want to keep drinking.
So it first went on
That's
sale
wild.
today in 1886. It sold for
Wild.
5 cents a glass, and it became very popular at fountains in the drugstore fountains in the United States. And it was believed that because of the carbonated water that was used, that it was good for your health, and that his new drink was marketed and sold as a patent medicine.
Wow.
Claiming it cure for diseases including morphine addiction, indigestion, nerve disorders, headaches, and impotence.
ED.
And it would
That was
survive.
my joke, and then you threw that out there.
It would survive Prohibition too, right?
Yeah.
Because we learned when
How's
we
your
went to the
Coke
Buffalo
habits?
Trace distillery, they were talking about Prohibition and everything, how they survived that because it was medicine.
Yeah, yeah, they showed their prescriptions.
Yeah. Since we're drinking a Buffalo Trace product. Little
But how cool
interesting
is that?
fact about
Salud.
LaRiviere.
That today is that anniversary of the very first time Coca-Cola was marketed in the
nuts.
United States. That's very cool. And that, my friends, is the 724 Flashback of the Week, brought to you by 724 Cigars. Smoke a piece of history.
So what do you think? Do you think we should tease everybody a little bit with what we got going on coming up to at least from our company, from Rocky Patel, to celebrate Twins?
Well, we have
25th
Rocky Patel
anniversary?
events going on for like the next 8 months.
It's like a Rocky takeover. Waiting to pull up.
We got a
something.
Groupon for everybody
Sign's
out there
gonna
too.
change
Just-
that,
go to
Rocky.
Twins is going to be very busy. We have 18 events scheduled between now and the end of the year,
Nice.
including several Rocky events. The very next one, though, next Saturday, we have Eric Stokeby from Fourth Generation Tobacconist, Pipes of Tobacco, coming to the shop. He'll be here all day Saturday.
Yeah.
The following Saturday, we have Rainier Lorenzo, who is the founder and owner of HVC Cigars. He's going to be with us. And right here where we're standing, we're going to be doing a brunch
Are we
on
standing
the
right
kind
now?
of sitting.
sitting, standing, where we're at.
If Joey was here, he'd be.
Rainier's going to be here. Yeah, no Joey jokes. Okay? No Joey jokes. Sitting next to Joey, I just felt like a freaking giant.
He's the man. He's one of our ambassadors, you know.
He's awesome.
He's awesome.
great
I
dude.
love
He's
him.
awesome.
We love him.
But
gotta hit
we're
him
having a pancake brunch with him on the 20th. Tickets are $40 for that. 2 cigars, full breakfast.
Awesome.
You're gonna get a Cuban mojito that he's gonna make himself. Tickets are more than half gone already. You don't have a lot of time left. Make sure you call.
Who's cooking, by the way?
Sean's cooking.
Sean?
You're cooking?
Sean is cooking.
What are you gonna cook?
Pancakes,
Pancakes.
bacon, and
Pancakes, bacon, and sausage.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a good
Nice.
thing.
I'll have to fly it over here.
And then
I'd eat eggs.
maybe chicken.
Friday,
June
2nd.
2nd.
Nimmy D.
Nimmy D's coming to
He's
town.
going to be here, and he's going to be. We're going to do a thing up on the deck with him. Hamburgers, hot dogs, brats. That I guess he's going to cook himself. Yeah.
He's got his own special
Any
brat
peppers?
recipe that he wants to do. Yeah.
Yep.
And Nimmy hasn't been here, right? I mean, I think it's been a very, very long time.
I don't know that he's
that
ever
Nimmy's
done an
ever
event
been
here in
up this
recent-
way.
recent
Yeah.
history.
He's
don't-
really excited. I
don't
talked to him
think he
today.
has.
I don't think he's been
I
up
think
this
he
way.
has. I think he might. I don't even know about that.
He's
I don't
really
even know what I'm
excited to
saying.
come. I mean, the
Yep.
first thing he says, like, Mikey, make sure we're going to do brats. I got a brat recipe. We're going to do it. So we
Yeah.
got
That's
that on
awesome.
tap.
We're
I got
looking
the
forward to
brat
that.
sourced from a local farmer in Samberton, New Hampshire.
It's going to be great.
That's going to be awesome. And
So we're gonna have great
that'll
deals.
be here. It's going to be $40 will get you onto the deck. You're going to get 3 cigars. The dinner you're going to get Old Forester with that. It's
Holy
and
crap.
then time with
Thanks for supplying.
BIB, right?
It's going to be
Thanks,
yeah. It's
thanks
going to
for
be
supplying
awesome.
those 3 cigars, Mike.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
And thanks for buying all the liquor. We appreciate it.
You know, I aim to please.
And the
Yeah.
brats.
So
Brats.
we
Brats,
have a
brats.
promo going on right now that leads up to Nimmy's
That's right.
appearance here. So we're giving away. Correct me if I'm wrong, because there's all kinds of stuff going on here, like you said, the last 8 months. But so starting now, today, moving on. I think it already started a couple days ago. But if
Last
you,
month, actually.
yeah, so all it's ongoing. It's ongoing.
Yeah.
So basically, I mean, go to the website and you can see what the deals are. But you're going to get some great free goods and stuff, and raffle tickets with your purchases. And we're going to give away this beautiful age-limited rare humidor with 50 cigars in it, right?
Yep.
And the cigars that are in there, I think we mentioned it last podcast.
Yep.
One-time run, special size. It's the 55.
The only way you can get them is
That's
with
it.
this,
Yeah, I
this
mean,
humidor.
I've never had one.
Yeah.
We made a very limited amount of those just for these humidors. I can't
Oh,
remember
there's
how
only
many humidors we made.
50? I've been smoking them out of that humidor all week.
So there might be
Ruh-roh.
35 now.
That's
So you-
why it's 50 humidor.
You're going to get that as the first prize.
You get the ashes.
And the second prize is going to be the very first person, the teaser of our promotion. It's going to start literally the next day after Nimmy leaves. The promotion is going to be running for how long after that?
Through Labor Day.
Through Labor Day. And we are going to have a rockin' bash up in
Samberton,
New Hampshire.
Laconia.
Laconia area. We're gonna have just this crazy
Right on Lake
bash,
Winnisquam,
and Rocky's
yep.
coming in, and we're gonna spend the night at a house. It's an inlet, like the river pot that goes to the lake. Is a house that everybody will be staying at, and we're gonna have food, drinks, cigars, and just it's gonna be a real intimate overnight, hang out and just spend some time with Rocky and Kurt. Have a I don't know if you want to extend a little bit about what really that weekend means. It's not my position to do that. It's going to be freaking awesome. That's all I got to say. It's going to be a great time. And that night with Nimmy, when we give away that ALR humidor, the second place prize, the first person that's going to win a slot at that overnight, which is going to be
October 21st and 22nd.
Right. So the Saturday night of that weekend,
Yeah.
the winner is going to be able to bring a guest and be a part of that experience. We're going to spend the day. Who knows what? I mean, we really don't have an itinerary. I mean, when it's Kurt and Rocky together, who knows what
anything
we're gonna
goes.
do. I mean,
Can happen.
we might end up all driving
Anything
drag
can
race cars and seeing who can get
Oh,
the
yeah.
fastest time.
Skinny dipping.
I mean, yeah, we might. Tom Brady might come in, and we might see
Hey, now.
who can throw the most touchdowns. I don't know what's going to happen.
Oh,
It's going
yeah.
to be a crazy day.
Yep.
But you'll spend the night overnight at this house. It's a beautiful house, and just have a blast. So that day will be the first person. You win a slot, and you get to bring whoever you want there.
Yep.
I mean, you got to vet them through us,
Yeah,
but
bring somebody
whoever you
fun.
want.
And-
it's going to be somebody fun.
Those winners will be pulled on the 3rd of June. Nimmy will still be here.
Yep.
And we're going to have a big Rocky Patel selling event downstairs in our retail area. And at the end of that, he'll be pulling those winners.
And the plan is to give you your first chance to buy this cigar that we're smoking
Yes.
tonight. We'll have some of those on hand, and then that'll start the next promotion that'll run, like you said, through Labor Day. And
Yep.
that one is going to be the same type of process where you buy cigars and you get raffle tickets, you get some freebies with it, all that stuff. And also you're going to get a chance to win, and we're going to raffle off 2 or 3 slots to come to the lake house
Yep.
as well.
Yep. So you'll end up being with like 8 people or something when it's all said and
It's
done.
going to be a sick day.
It's going to be awesome.
I'm looking forward
It's
to
going
it.
to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And that time of year, in that area is gorgeous.
Foliage, right?
Yeah, foliage.
Cigars by the fire.
It's gonna be incredible. So that's gonna be really, really good.
We have a special guest watcher right now.
What, our mom?
No.
Did Tom actually call in to say,
He's,
hey, Mike, what's
he's
up?
currently in Florida, laughing at us being all cold.
Paulie?
That's right.
Oh,
If I could swear, he knows what I'd say right now.
oh my goodness.
He says, "Hey now, you all look a little cold up there."
Watch it, boy, or I'll come down there.
That's you soon, Paul.
Yeah.
What part of Florida is he in?
Pete Beach,
Oh,
St.
God.
Pete Beach.
St.
Yeah.
Pete Beach. Yeah.
God, it's-
One of my favorite areas.
I get down there a
there.
lot, and my mom lives in Bradenton,
Yeah.
but I stay in St. Pete Beach. I love it.
St. Pete
I
Beach
love
is
it. Paul, if
beautiful.
you get any connections with a place down there, I'm looking to get something. The Rocky Patel discount, police discount, whatever you want to call it. Get me something cheap down there. Because they're not cheap anymore. I told you last time. I missed the boat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Beautiful part of the state.
It is a beautiful part of the state.
Well, have fun. Go down to, Paulie, if you're listening, obviously, right now, live, you can head over to this place called Flamingos. And I stumbled
joint.
upon this place. It's in St. Pete. And I left the bucket.
Why am I not surprised you know the place
It's
called
the place is
Flamingos?
unbelievable. Like, it's so rustic, old school, and they have pool tables in this old rustic bar, and you can just drink, smoke cigars, play pool, watch sports.
Sign me up.
So there's my plug for Flamingos. Maybe I'll get a free round next time I go in there if they're
Who
listening.
knows? It's possible.
The place is
Anything's
pretty
possible.
cool.
That's good for a rustic person like Paul. So
Yeah.
They get some high-end Thai food right next door. So
there
you
you
can
go.
Cool. Okay.
It's really good.
Yeah,
This thing's burning good.
Yeah, look at that. Huh?
See the burn line? That's definitely well-aged tobacco. It's construction's excellent.
We're doing 10-count boxes.
Yeah.
How many boxes, Kurt?
We have 6,000 cigars. Divided by 10 is
600. We have 600
Very
boxes.
good, Kurt.
Yeah,
That's
that
very
was
good.
that was
I
the
We could be on
confiscate.
Sesame Street.
the run is 600 boxes, 610 counts only.
600.
I mean, I was saying these things are geyonna fly.
Yeah, they are. They're gonna fly up.
This is really good.
Oh my
I'm
God.
gonna
It's
say
an
it.
easy
This is
smoke.
my favorite Twins anniversary cigar so far.
I
It
love
was the Christoph, and now it's this one.
Yep.
Christoph's gonna be pissed off when he hears it.
Sorry, Glenn. We love you.
There'll be a
We
competition.
do love Glenn. We love
you know.
Glenn. I had to say it. That was perfect, right? You threw
Yeah,
the softball out there. I was like,
we planned
I was
that.
doing the Gary Sheffield, like, all right, there it
Oh
is.
my gosh. So Kurt, this is, the thank you from Rocky for 25 years, and you want to talk about some of the highlights you've had?
Oh, boy.
25 years putting this whole monster together that is now a institution.
Yeah, I don't even know where to start. It's amazing because when you're living in the moment and it's built up to what we have here, I kind of take it for granted. I don't want to say anybody else does, but we started literally
You can almost see it, right?
about a tenth of a mile. You could see it right there.
Right where the red light is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
450 square foot shack. I literally I spent every nickel I had opening that place. It was the biggest gamble in the world for me personally. And, at the time, my goal was, if I could make like $100 a day and get through, I could pay my mortgage. My mortgage was $387.40. And I just rolled the dice with that. We started Twins. I borrowed no money. I gambled. I sold a Chevelle that I had.
Oh,
And,
I would buy that right
I
now.
sold a few other things and scraped up a couple bucks with the help of my brother. He supplied me with some cigars. The name of it is Twin Smoke Shop because I have a twin brother who initially was planning to be my partner in a different state, but it didn't work out. So I opened up here, 450 square feet, and then we just kept expanding, one brick at a time, I always say, because it's a true brick and mortar.
totally.
Every week, every month, we expanded our place one brick at a time. So
And what a place it is.
we've built
today.
7 stores over the years in different locations until we're at the point now where, we have two beautiful freestanding buildings. We have the 724 Lounge in this one, beautiful outdoor deck. We've had a lot of great employees and people working. The stories I could tell you of the thousands and thousands of customers I've met over the years, some crazy, most of them great, but tons of stories.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Rocky rolled up one day with a bunch of cigars in his trunk, right?
Yeah.
Selling them, cash only, and make enough gas money to get to the next stop. I mean, some of the stories with Rocky
whether
is
you
just out
know
of
this or
control.
not, the first order of cigars that ever came to Twin Smoke Shop was Indian Tobacco.
That's amazing. I didn't know that.
It was weeks before we opened.
I did not know
We're
that.
smoking them, and I remember smoking the TP
Yeah.
and the Chief.
I couldn't get away with that these
These things are
days.
good.
Imagine that. I didn't know that. So,
Yeah,
God,
first
the
order
very
ever.
first order of cigars to
COD,
Twin
by the
Smoke
way.
Shop, COD,
Yeah.
was a Rocky Patel cigar.
I had the
That's
license
amazing.
plate hanging in the shop forever. It said COD. Everything was COD.
Mm-hmm.
It was struggling, man. You knew when an order was coming in. You're like, holy crap, how am I going
Yeah.
to pay for this?
Think
I
about
still
it. You
think
went
that
from a
way.
450 square foot Twins to start, and now Kurt's vault of cigars, your special vault that you have all your rare stuff and everything, is over 450 square feet.
Yeah.
So
And it's not
doing pretty good. Man.
Yeah.
Lisa
That's
and
a
I are
success
still
story.
pushing
That
for
is
a
in an
Twins Florida
undisclosed
edition.
location.
Right?
Yeah. If he ever does that.
Twins Florida.
I'm there.
Twins,
Next
Florida.
location.
I actually have a couple of questions for Kurt now that we're on the topic of 25 years. But so, one of the questions I've always had, just from I watch a lot of podcasts, do a lot of research on the industry, and when you opened in '97, it was probably the worst time to open up a cigar shop because there was the height of the cigar boom. Manufacturers weren't putting out product. You had the Don Nobodies just making cigars because they were just getting bought. How did you manage to open something during that period of time? I mean, you had people that were going out of business because they can't get product.
Well, it truly was the best and worst time because it was actually the end of the cigar boom. So people were very fascinated by cigars. People were still trying to get their hands on it and try their first cigars. But there was no cigars to be had. A lot of the cigars that we had in the shop, I was buying retail and putting them on the shop and with a small dollar increase just so I could have something on the shop shelves. My twin brother Kevin, he has a restaurant in Connecticut, and he was selling some cigars in his restaurant. So he had a few connections, through Famous Smoke Shop
Yeah.
and JR's
Richie's place.
and Ernesto Perez Correa.
Yeah.
We would call La Gloria every day because La Gloria was so unorganized, but their cigars were so hot.
Yep.
You were just so they had two ways to get them: wholesale and retail. We would call every day, and we didn't care if we got them from one or the other, because that Wave L, the La Gloria
Yep,
Wave L,
yep.
got I don't know if it was a 93 or 95 rating, and
Super popular
yeah.
when they came out.
our first direct account, and we rejoiced, was Puros Indios.
Oh, I
I
remember
couldn't even believe we got our first account.
That green
The
label.
band, yeah.
Yep.
And they were made in Honduras.
Well, that must have been interesting for you. That didn't come up when we were in Florida, because when we came back from Honduras, we stopped and ate a nice meal, and then we're like, "What are we gonna do? We're gonna have a drink and a cigar." We went to Famous
Yeah.
in Fort Myers and had a great.
No. That's
Oh,
different.
it's a different one.
No.
Oh.
That's world famous.
Oh, okay.
Famous is, at the time, they were in New York City.
Oh,
Now
so it's like a
it's,
big distributor.
Now it's a big distributor or, e-com company in Pennsylvania.
Oh, so way different than Richie's place.
Way
that we
different.
went
That's
to.
right. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it was fun anyway.
Yeah, it was. But, I grew up in Bloomfield, Connecticut. And in Bloomfield, Connecticut was Colborough, which was General Cigar, Macanudo. Wow. And I knew somebody that worked there. And at the time, you couldn't even get one box of Macanudo. So I had this connection, and I was so excited. Her name is Adina Weiner. And Adina said, well, let me see what I can do to get you an account open. And a representative actually came by to open our account, and what they opened us up was we could buy polo shirts and accessories.
Not even cigars.
No cigars. So we would call constantly. I say we, it was me, but constant phone calls to try and get accounts open. But there was, when they say Don Nobodies, that's what it was. It was Don. Everybody was rushing to just put out any cigar they could because it was so hot. The construction was horrible. The tobacco was not good. Today's day and age, it's going to be 26 years, June 1st. So, which is right around the corner.
Yeah.
Yep.
God, Nimmy's going to be here the next day.
This is the best time ever in my 26 years for cigars because we have excellent product right now.
It's interesting because, we knew already, but we've seen firsthand going to the factory, Rocky's just, how he's so dialed in and laser focused on the quality and the things they were doing, at the factory. That's just those extra steps that not everybody takes. And I believe that's rooted in that time frame that you're talking about because, he was right getting in it. And I've heard him tell the stories about how, didn't like the construction, things went the way he wanted to be. And he's just like, no, I'm going to be hands-on. And he's like, here's Rocky Patel, kind of an outsider, at that point, really, right? Coming into this industry. And now he's like going to Nicaragua. He's going to Honduras. He's like, no, I want my cigars to be done this way. I want the quality needs to be there and all that. And that's never left him. And I think, and it's just magnified when you go to the factory and you see all those extra steps, like the draw machines that they brought. We made our own blend, too, which is actually really cool.
Yeah.
We all got to, they laid out probably 25, 30 different tobaccos, some binders, some fillers, some wrappers, and every one of us got a sheet, and we got to blend our own cigar at the end. That was kind of one of the last things we did. And we got paired up with a pair. Mm-hmm. And they rolled our cigars and they went and draw tests and everything. I know some of us had some problems. Like some of the folks, they went and their cigars were too loose or too tight, and I had to keep going back and trying it again. And I got really lucky. I got the gentleman that was paired up to do my blend. He did my 5 cigars and went over to the thing, and it was literally right on point every single one of them. Even the guy looked at me, he's like, this guy's showing off, But just goes to show you 100% of the cigars go in a draw test machine, which that's not a given. That doesn't happen everywhere.
Doing that for a living.
Yeah, and watching him do it is it's pull your hair out of your head. That's what you do for 10 hours every day, really. Just take these cigars on. It's a quick process, but it's a process.
Right.
And now you're making less cigars as a pair every single day because you have that extra step that has to happen. Mm-hmm. Maybe you get sent back to, you got to do it right.
Yep.
Dan mentioned earlier, we have 18 events at Twin Smoke Shop between now and the end of the year. And it's all special things we're trying to do for our 25th anniversary. And, thanks to our team for making this all happen and really putting some special things together, and our partnering manufacturers and all the good friends we've met over the years. It's really been a good year.
We're excited to be a part of it, Kurt. Do you have the ability to give a sneak peek at the package? I know we talked about it. We were going to try to see if we could do it, or we're not doing that tonight. Do we have to wait?
We would have to get stuff sent to Dave, and he would have to put it up. So I don't have any of that.
That's up to Kurt.
I don't have
if he wants
any
to
of
do it.
that,
I have
those
access to
images.
it. If you want me to send it to him, or we can wait.
Yeah. We could send it out. Well, you don't have to do it right this second, but we'll get it out there. We'll get people seeing it.
It's pretty cool. I'm excited about it.
When we get the WordPress version up of the podcast next Monday, we
so
can
make
have
sure
those
everybody pay
pictures
attention to the announcements and everything, because I think when you see the finished product of the packaging for this cigar, it's really a tribute to the 25 years of hard work that Kurt's put into this, this company, and this privilege that we have to be able to come here and experience, great people.
Yep.
Every time I come here, and I don't live far away. I'm 20 minutes away. I mean, I was coming here way before I was part of, Rocky Patel. I mean, we were friends and everything, but I wasn't working for the company. And this place, if you haven't been here, make the pilgrimage, get here, and The staff's unbelievable. The people that come here. If you like bourbons, tequilas, or whatever beverage you like to have, I mean, I'm a big bourbon guy, and I'm still trying to figure out the combination at Kurt's door so I can get in there and get a hold of some of that special stuff. But
That's
I
a
mean,
different ball.
you sit at the bar and you just look at the bourbon selection, and if you want it, it's here. Have it. You're going to be releasing your special bourbon, right? Have you announced that yet? Or anything?
Yeah.
So
we announced it. I think we released. Did we, Bree?
you guys start selling at the bar yet?
Not officially. I still haven't even tried it.
Oh, you haven't?
No.
By the way, thank you. I mean, I just have to bow down and Kurt and thank Kurt for allowing me to be a part of that process. Being the big bourbon guy I am, we went down to Kentucky. We had a private tour of the Willett Distillery and got to taste all the bourbons and be a part of the process of picking this. And this barrel that you got, that bourbon is just over the top.
10-year-old.
It won me over.
10-year-old original mash bill from Willett. They've only been stocking up in the rick houses for 11 years now, because back in the 80s, bourbon wasn't that popular, and they actually stopped producing their own liquid. They would just buy it and then age it. So the oldest ones they have now is 11 years old, and which they will not allow you to buy.
I'm shocked that you were allowed to buy the barrel you bought because it's going to say 9 years on the label, but it's 10 years almost to the day.
To the day.
Which is pretty sick, and we had a great time tasting it, and you got to come here and try 5 or 6 ounces. Make yourself happy. Get an Uber because it's a strong bourbon.
There's a hotel right
Get a
next
little
door.
heat
It's
to it.
all right.
129.6 proof.
It's got some nice heat.
129.
It's so good.
But it's super tasty. It's got very unique and great flavor characteristics.
I think during
Whether
this promo we're going to have a Rocky Patel pairing with that, right?
Are we?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought we were going to have the post-show pairing.
Not to
with
cut
that
you off,
tonight.
Chris. Sorry. What's one bottle amongst friends? 25 years. I mean,
You got to celebrate every day.
You got to celebrate. That's
You
right.
don't know where we're going to be.
wait, what was
tomorrow.
our theme song? What was our theme song? We were in Honduras.
I don't
The
know.
Dirty Heads Vacation. I'm on vacation every single day because I love my occupation. No, you're not catching
I
that.
got you.
You got me,
Got
Bree,
you.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I do have to say, I love Vacation Kurt. Vacation Kurt is a different animal.
So what do we have for time left here? What are we doing?
We're just about done.
Well, we need to
actually.
talk about the cigar a little more. Don't you
Yeah.
think?
So, you want to tell us now? Was Pat right? Was he
Is there
wrong?
a way to edit this so we can save face for Pat a little bit here?
No.
Cameron,
That's the problem with live. It's
all right.
live.
I'm just going to say, I walked up to Pat at the bar before we came out here, and he was just looking at the cigar, looking at it, and he's
Staring
like,
at it.
he's like, that speaks
Beating
Habano,
it
but I haven't
down
smoked
with
it yet.
his-
And he was right. His first observation of it was right. It's a Habano.
Habano.
Yeah.
What Habano? A
What are you looking
Honduran
at? Every
Habano?
secret, huh?
It's
It's Honduras.
It's Honduras.
Yeah.
Honduran Habano. Okay.
We kind of already talked about it a little bit.
Are you going to talk about the rest of it?
Yeah, so I think you're tasting
Get
a lot
on
of
with it.
that unbelievable sweet tobacco from Honduras in there. It has a Nicaraguan
Strong
binder.
Valley.
Nicaraguan binder.
Yeah,
Fillers.
Nicaraguan and Honduran.
Okay.
Yeah, and a Habano wrapper. It's different. I think it's very different.
It's
I mean, you
different,
smoked
but
a
it's-
lot of our stuff,
It's
Pat.
different,
I
but
don't-
it's very Kurt.
It's a confusing blend if you're trying to do what you were doing, I think, because Rocky had his hands on this in the beginning. I mean,
Does
there's
not
some
taste
different
like a
priming,
Habano.
some different age. There's a lot of very well-aged tobacco in this
Very
cigar.
good.
This is different than a lot of the cigars that you'll taste in our
It's
profile.
very well balanced, and
Anybody
it
can
is
smoke this.
very Kurt, because I like any cigars that we have. We like to be able to put them in everybody's hands, not eliminate any smokers from enjoying them. So,
And this is
Very
definitely
smooth.
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Anybody
a
would enjoy
nice,
this.
medium cigar. It's got this crazy sweetness to it. There's a little bit of spice.
Some
The retrohale
earthiness.
is pleasing. It's awesome. The smoke,
And it's great
the
all the way
room note,
down.
The room note is great.
In a weird way, it kind of brought me back to my first time smoking the Connecticut series from our 724. Just that
Start your day.
with a WK.
So there's certain cigars that we make that like are just like they're close to like them the ones that I just love to smoke, and it's not necessarily something we get every trunk stock order that we give out as samples, and I have to like go through the red tape and hey, I want to get a couple bundles of this, a bundle of that, so I have them to smoke. And this is one of those, and that's the sad part about this cigar because we made 600 boxes.
Oh yeah.
I'm not sure. I mean,
Well,
maybe
you'll
there's
have
a
the
possibility to
opportunity-
make some later
you'll
on.
have the opportunity to buy a dozen boxes.
Well, I might have to because this is something that I would love to be able to smoke on a regular basis. And in the end, like I can't call down the office and say, "Yeah, Rocky said I could get a bundle of Kurt's 25th anniversary." It's not there. I can't get that.
Yeah.
Are you feeling it now that you hear the blend? I mean, you can easily go away from that Sumatra Cameroon.
Well, I mean,
thing, and now you're like, all right, now I get it.
I think like
a low priming.
Like I'm not like an expert, so it's like I'm gonna guess everything right. But it just speaks to how good the cigar is. Like
Right.
it doesn't like even though you say Habano, I don't believe you. You know what I mean? Like I said,
that's
like,
great. That's awesome. Actually.
Like in the beginning, it looked like a Habano, but like and I was convinced it was a Habano, and then I started smoking it. And I'm like, I've never had a Habano that's smoked like this, So based on, and I smoke a lot of cigars, and my experience, that's why I was thinking like Cameroon, Sumatra, because it was different, and it doesn't smoke like, this is probably the only cigar I've smoked, if it's a Habano wrapper, that's had anything remotely close to this. Usually Habano is like very, hay, like white spice and just, like grassy notes, creaminess. But this one's like completely different.
And I think
it
the
doesn't
blend,
smoke at all.
the filler's coming in on that too. I think you're getting a lot of that Honduran filler. That's
This is
giving
awesome.
you that too.
That's what this is.
I didn't get to smoke it before then. We smoked it together.
I have to tell you, Mike, I don't know what you're going to... Kudos to Rocky for making such a great cigar for Kurt.
Yeah. This is amazing.
But I'm going to be honest. This is my favorite cigar from Rocky Patel.
Oh,
Nice.
I don't know how that makes you feel, but this is just a really, really good cigar.
I'm
Makes me
definitely
feel
buying
good.
a box.
Makes
of
me
it
feel
tonight.
somehow.
Yeah, but Rocky, I think he made a home run with
He
this.
did.
And
the best part about this is hands on with him. Like I said, he pulled me aside that day. He wanted to do it. He had ideas and everything. He knew what you liked, and look at what we have here. Yeah.
Pay attention when
Pretty
it comes
excited.
out. They're going to go fast.
They are.
gonna
Oh,
go
they are.
fast.
Yeah.
Make it happen.
they are
I'm gonna
go
get.
fast.
I'm gonna get a special price on the boxes, right? I think there's gonna be.
It's double.
There's gonna be 590 boxes available.
Retail plus 10.
Retail plus
Plus
20. Come on. We had to wait. Remember?
Yeah, you did have to wait. You have to admit, I think a little part of you along this journey has been like, he's bullshitting me. Those cigars aren't even being produced yet. And I kept on, it was a secret at first. And then when it came out, then I'm like, shit, now it's not a secret anymore. So Kurt's asking me about it. I'm like, no, dude, I'll tell you, like, right now they're in production. And he's like, yeah, whatever.
Well,
Then,
like
then I'm like,
anything-
no, they're done. They're resting. They're done. We're waiting for packages. And then, no, like I walk away and I know Kurt's like, he's so full of shit. And thank God you were at the factory and you heard Marissa say, no, these things have been sitting for like 7-8 months.
Well, like anything Rocky would tell, it takes a while to get an answer.
That's true. That is true. Usually the answer's good, though.
With all due respect.
Yes.
So are we all in agreement?
Yeah.
This
Fantastic.
is going to be a fantastic cigar, and they're going to have another month of aging on them at least before they're
Right.
released.
Right, and I'm on it.
But,
I'll keep on it. I'll keep getting the updates for you guys. And like you talked to Marissa earlier, and I talked to Nimish, and they both said the exact same thing, which is great. So they're going
That
to be
is a
hitting the
good
water
sign.
soon, and
That's a good sign.
we'll make sure we at least get some here, hopefully, for us to sell that weekend. And
Dan, what else do we have planned for our 25th, the rest of our 25th anniversary? I know we got a lot of events.
Oh my goodness.
Give everybody a little taste.
Well,
You can remember, there's a lot going on.
There's a lot.
there's a lot going on. I'm going to have to.
Debris going away party.
There's the debris, the debris party.
May 23rd.
Yep.
Debris, how long have you been working here?
It's been about 7 years. Well, actually, so it was funny because I took a note out of Pat's book because he's been pushing this, but I was reading some of the material on the TU site, and it was saying that the golden era for cigars was between 1995 and 2016. 1995 being the year I was born, and 2016 being 1 year before I started working at Twins.
Oh, nice.
So Kurt Kendall has been my educator on the history because he's actually a great storyteller leading up until that time. So
That's vacation, Kurt.
May 2017 mark was
Is it different than work, Kurt?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It is?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. The two people are different?
Bree and I have traveled.
I remember the first day at the last PCA, and Kurt's like, I got so much to do, but this day is for relaxing. We're going to the pool. I was like, Kurt, are you okay?
Yeah. Good day, too.
You know what I'm going to miss? I'm going to miss Sushi Samba with Kurt and Bree
Oh, yeah.
down in Vegas. I mean, Bree, we're going to have to dial into you because you're the sake
Yeah.
orderer. Like, she orders the best sake with the best
Good
flavor
House
profiles.
some sushi, too, huh?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The wasabi on the...
Yeah.
If you're sitting next to Bree, you're seeing like one more piece on the thing. You better
get it
step
quick.
up and
Because I will make sure that I cook one piece of Wagyu beef on that hot Japanese
Oh.
rock, and I'll do that one in your honor with a little bit of black
Cheers to
salt
Bree.
on it.
Oh, my
And,
goodness.
well, this has been great. Thanks for having me again. People are probably sick of seeing my mug on here, but I love coming out here, and it's been
That's
great
what
to
she
share
said.
share the time slot with you guys, Sean and Kurt. And
Well, Dan's
Talk
looking
about
that up.
history.
We have a final thing from Paul here. He says, "Don't bring the cold weather with you, Bree. We love it down here." And he says, It's 20 degrees cooler here, and I have fewer layers on than Pat."
you should see Sean. He's got a skull cap on.
He's got a mad fish skull cap.
Where did that?
Well, thanks for allowing us to have this on the show. I mean, I know you don't have many.
Happy to share these.
We
with
took
you
a
guys.
handful back from the factory, really, just to
I had to
do
beg and plead
this.
to get them too.
All right, I've got the list now. I had to turn back my Wi-Fi to get the list and everything. So we've got Nimi coming on June 2nd and 3rd. All right. June 16th, we have Terrence Riley coming from Aganorsa.
Who also made us a 25th
Who also made us a
anniversary
25th
cigar. We're gonna
anniversary
release.
cigar. June 23rd, we're doing a special educational event with Adam Nigerian from Altadis called Know Your Rappers. You're going to get a whole. You're going to get a pack with 7 Coronas, all with different wrappers on them, and you're going to go through a whole educational
That sounds
process,
awesome.
tasting the different wrappers, how they make the cigar taste different. It's going to be great. July 21st, which is a Friday, we have our 724 day party here at Twins. 724 is actually a Monday, so
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Can't have
you
a
got
party
you
on
got to
Monday.
do it while you can. And then August 12th, we have a Pipe Club dinner on the deck with Jeremy Reeves,
Nice.
who's
That's
the head
gonna be
blender
awesome.
of Cornell and Deal.
Yeah, buddy.
Also the guy who blends 724 Briary blends tobaccos for us.
Thank you. So good.
And then there's the end of the Rocky Patel event, Labor Day weekend.
Yep.
And then September 14th and 15th, we have a Drew Estate event coming up that's going to be fantastic. October 12th and 13th, we have Rumacraft coming to both Hooksett and Londonderry. And Mike Rosales and Skip Martin are both going to be here for that. October 14th, we have another pipe event, which we're calling Pipetoberfest.
Nice.
Pipetoberfest.
Sounds like a good
603 beers going to be there. We're going to have a lot of beer pairings with
Hey,
that.
now.
And this is not yet set in stone, but Greg Pease, who is the owner and brains behind GLP's Pipe Tobacco, we're hoping to have him there at that date. He's agreed to do an event here. We're just trying to work out calendars, but this is the event I want him
That'd
to
be
come
nice.
to. That would be fantastic. I've been smoking his stuff for 20 years, so that would be fantastic. Then we have on the 26th of October, we have an Aladino event. 27th, we have Tatawahe.
Is something missing out of this schedule here?
This was
hello.
Written, this was written before all this crap happened.
So
with Rocky Patel.
Let's do a flashback.
October 20th. October 20th, Rocky Patel will be here at the store. We're also going to be having a 60th birthday party for Kurt Kendall.
Ooh.
Wow. This was 60
That
digit.
night is going to be unreal.
And then
You're
you get
not-
to go
you're
to the
not
lake
gonna wanna
house
miss it.
on Saturday
and then
and go nuts.
Saturday, you get to go to the lake house the 21st and 22nd. Then you have those Aladino and Tatawahe events the week after that. November 9th, we're having the Cigar Family Charity Foundation event,
What's
which
the
we do
rumor
every
for that
year.
one?
The rumor for that is that Carlito will be here for that event.
Nice.
That's just strictly
What's the date of that?
rumor.
That is November 9th.
Toast across America.
I got to try to
Toast
get
Across
here for
America event. November 17th, my father
Rumor.
with Jose, what's his
Rodriguez?
last name?
Jose
Rodriguez.
Ortega?
Jose Ortega and Rich. I can't pronounce his last name.
Nobody can.
Oh,
Nobody
Richie?
can.
Richie's coming too?
Richie's coming too.
What's the
Both
date of that
them.
one?
November
Oh,
17th.
shit.
And then December 9th, there's the annual Savinelli Christmas event. So we have got a lot going on.
Yeah.
The only thing I'll add to that is in the upcoming week, I'm brewing that beer with 603. That's going to be our exclusive beer that we had made.
Oh, yeah.
Is it an
Nice.
IPA?
I don't want to say what it is.
Awesome. Keep it secret.
It's gonna. It was made to pair with the cigar, though.
And I'll tell you something else. There's at least 2 events that I know of, but I don't remember the dates off the top of my head, that have been made after this calendar was. So
Who are they?
this is we're doing a black label event,
Nice.
which will be a nighttime event.
Is that like the Metallica?
We're gonna
blend
try and do black lighting out.
Oh, I
Black
see.
Label Trading Co.
Black Label
Black
Trading
Label
Company. I got it.
Trading,
Okay.
Bree, you're going to miss most of these.
I'll fly up.
All
Tickets
right.
can't be that bad. Knock on wood.
So there's
Like
the
that.
events
I got miles.
just keep coming.
I
Like
love
on Wicked.
fall.
There will every month we're averaging 2 or 3 events, and it's going to be great. And like Kurt was trying to point out, these are not events where it's just like little reps coming.
Right,
we're
right.
having principal people come
Yep.
every month to
Placencia
celebrate.
Friday. Yeah.
Yep,
This is the year we're
Javier.
celebrating 25 years, right? This is it. This is the year to.
That's it.
Yeah.
We're going to celebrate like this
Congratulations.
every year, and then next year in June, we're going to celebrate the 150th anniversary of 724.
Wow. That's
That's gonna be-
insane.
That
That
is
needs to
going
be like a
in-
block party in Manchester. I'm just saying it right now. Like because that's huge.
We're gonna get Kurt in a dunk tank for that one.
Maybe the dunk tank keeps coming back.
Yeah.
That's gonna be sick.
We did that once here. That was enough. And I think Bree was threatening to go in with several other gals,
Oh
and
my-
they never did, if
Oh,
I remember
you
right.
guys.
Well, I was being threatened to go in. They were like, "Bree, if we can't get enough people on this event,
Whatever happened to dunk tanks? We need to do that more. Those are fun.
Oh,
No,
last time we got a
that's
dunk
those
tank, it was
70s.
like 63 degrees.
Oh man.
It flopped."
But it's going to be great. I'm very excited.
That's
about all
awesome.
these
That's a
things
great
going
schedule.
on.
God.
Yeah, good stuff.
Well, congratulations. 25 years. Thank you for having Rocky Patel Cigars as a part of it. We're super excited to release this cigar and pay tribute to your hard work, man.
Cheers.
Cheers.
everybody.
All
Happy
righty,
anniversary.
cheers. Too bad, Pat, you're already done.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. That was a good bourbon.
Well, Mike, thanks for being with us tonight.
Thanks for having me.
It's always awesome to have you here, and I mean that sincerely.
I don't know if he really means it, but it feels good to hear it. This is on record,
Yeah.
right? So that's
Yeah,
on the record. I can
that's
just
right.
have that clip. I can play it over
You
and
can
over.
play it back. You can play it back and prove that I said I like having you around. And Kurt, it's always great to have you on the show too.
Well,
We're
thanks for
exceedingly
inviting me.
pleased for having you. I know you got a trip back home tonight too. So thank you very much for being on the
Put my
podcast.
dinner
It was a good
behind me.
time. All
And
right.
Bree, we're gonna miss you.
Yeah.
Make sure
we
you
got
keep in
Bree
touch
for a
with
little
us.
bit longer.
Yeah.
Let's not
Maybe,
rush Bree out the
Who
door.
knows? You
Yeah.
might see me around a little bit
Is
more.
there anything we
often.
can do? Like, keep you here? Like, what's it gonna take?
We'll talk on my trips up. Like, with any luck, I can come back up here at least once every couple of months, and make it up for the big events.
That's a good plan. You're gonna come up. You're gonna come up for the Rocky event.
Oh yeah, I'll come cook with Sean. Well,
Yeah,
I
all
was,
4 months of it.
all 4 months of it.
Bree, you cook?
All right, I have an idea. So, Bree can put the water in the containers and shake the pancake batter up. You know those little yellow containers, and then she'll hand it to you, and you can make the pancakes. Right? You can be the shaker.
I will be working on that.
You're not
that
doing it from
Saturday.
scratch, are you?
Of course.
Are you
he
really?
is.
He's doing it from scratch.
Yeah.
All right, I'm coming for that.
We call
then.
him Dad for a reason.
I do it at home.
thought it was just
I
the
put the
word
water
dad
in those
hat.
little yellow things. I shake them up, and I tell the kids, "Here's your homemade." Throw a couple blueberries
Dad
in there.
jeans and hats.
All right, that's it for us tonight. Thanks for watching,
Thank you.
everybody. And we look forward to seeing you soon here at Twins. We'll see you next Monday. Bye-bye. You've been listening to Not Just Blowing Smoke, the podcast that brings the wealth of knowledge, expertise, and fun of Twins Smoke Shop, New England's premier smoke shop, right to you, wherever you are, whenever you want it. You can find us at our website, notjustblowingsmoke.com, and keep in touch with us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram at Not Just Blowing Smoke. Thanks for listening, everybody. And that is Not Just Blowing Smoke.
Rolling with the top down.